Okay, I'm hoping this is a good angle. Let me try to adjust this a little bit for y'all. All right, this is better. Hey, it's Rashida, Love It or Leave It, from Love It or Leave It podcast, which is found over on Astrofluent Kulture. But I just wanted to come over here on this page and just keep doing my, individual vlogging right now. And a huge shout out to my sister ChiChi, who is currently doing her own vlogs over on the main channel, Astrofluent Kulture. And she's actually giving a really dope bird's eye view of her experience with having BPD and also being in a recovery treatment program. So big shout out to her. As you all know, I'm a really big proponent of mental health and substance recovery, and so she is definitely doing her thing over there, and I love her so much and I'm rooting for her. And so if you guys want to check out her firsthand account of her journey, please go over to Astrofluent Kulture and check her out. Like, share, and subscribe. But let's get into what I'm doing today. So I am, again, Rashida. I am going to go ahead and do some makeup today. I'm having some hyperpigmentation issues. So all the girlies out there who struggle with hyperpigmentation, specifically in the AA community, if you guys can give me some tips or tricks or even suggestions on different products that I can use to help alleviate the hyperpigmentation, that would be super helpful. I would greatly appreciate that. I did see on TikTok there was a product called Detrol, which is like an antiseptic, and you have to like dilute it with a whole bunch of water, and people have been like singing its praises, but I'm really afraid to put something like so stringent on my skin because it's very, very sensitive. So I want to make sure I find something that is safe for the skin, that I can alleviate some of these hyperpigmentation spots. These particularly like on my cheeks. That is something like within my family, like my ancestry, we deal with these like really dark spots that come on as we age. And then this little spot right here on my forehead was from eczema, but I'm gonna tell you a little story about that. All right, so I'm gonna get some of my products out first, and as I go along, I will tell y'all about my eczema story. And so this is gonna be like a little bit of an account about how I came into my psychic gifts, because that also has to do with this eczema patch. So but before I tell that, I'm actually going to be using Bye Under Eye, which is a concealer. I got this from Ulta, so that's something that I use to cover up these blemishes or these hyperpigmentation spots that I have. I'm going to put a little dab, and I've already sanitized my face and everything, so we won't have to worry about that, and moisturized. I do use like the cocoa butter, the Palmer's cocoa butter formula. This is like, it looks kind of gross inside, but but this is just like more of like a cream, kind of like a cream, or I don't know how to describe the consistency, but it's not like a lotion. It's like more like a shea butter consistency. So I use that, as well as bio oil, to try to clear up some of these hyperpigmentation spots. But I've been using those products since I would say like February of 24, and yes, I have seen some improvement, but not necessarily as much as I would like. So if you guys have any suggestions, I would greatly appreciate that. So to get back to my spiritual journey and coming into my psychic gifts. So if I start way back in the beginning, when I was a wee old 3 to 4 year old, living in New York at the time, I recall being at my aunt Santa's house, and And y'all don't laugh at me applying this makeup because I am no expert at all. No, no, no ma'am, no Pam. I am very rudimentary when it comes to makeup application. So y'all probably like, she ain't even blending it right. But yeah, very elementary with this. Anyway, so I was at my Aunt Santa's house, and she put us to bed and everything, and I fall asleep. And of course, we don't really have a concept of time back at that early of an age. But I just pop out of my body, and I'm starting to float around the house. And I'm going to, so I would liken it to like astral projection, but I was not trying. It just happened. I am now using Nars, and this is the Caracas shade. But because I have hyperpigmentation, I have to use 2 different shades. So I'm doing the Nars Caracas right now, but then I also use Chanel. This one is Ultra, and it's like a all day comfort wear, and this is BD131. So I use a little bit. Ooh, y'all, listen, I was running low. Look at that. I was running low. It was like, with me trying to get this product out, but it gave me a really good squirt just now. I'm happy about that, because listen, baby boo, I am on a budget right now, and Chanel want a lot of money for foundation, okay? So I'm trying to stick within my budget. So anyway, at Aunt Santa's house, pop out of my body after I fall asleep, and I'm floating around, and I go outside. Like, my consciousness takes me outside, and I am I go to like a light post, and I see like a 16, maybe 17-year-old kid who had transitioned over. So he was like very like translucent. But I could see he was, the figure of this teenage boy. And I looked at him, and he gave me like knowing look, like, yes, I see you. And I just look at him like, and then he starts speaking to me. And it was like telepathically, like I don't remember his mouth moving or anything like that, but he's telling me, how he died. And I don't recall what he told me, but all I remember about it was that he told me how he died. And then I looked up, and I saw a pair of his shoes just in New York, and I've seen it in other places as well, but this was like a really big thing in like the 80s, to put up a pair of shoes of a loved one who had passed away on like a street sign or a light, a traffic light, or what do you call it? Like it's in the back of my head. Anyway, but it was like a thing to put it up. A pair of shoestrings that had been tied together on a pair of shoes, and like throw them over a traffic light or like a street sign, and just in remembrance of them. So he let me know that those were his shoes, and I guess his family must have put that out there in remembrance of him. And he was just like, just talking to me. And then I saw like just this like white golden light. It surrounded us. And then he just left. Just like shot up in the sky and left. And then I went back into my body. And in the morning when I woke up, I had shared with my Aunt Santa like what happened. And I think she kind of like dismissed it, like, oh, you're just dreaming. But when I went outside to to play that day, I saw the shoes over the, I guess it was a street sign. And I just remembered like, oh my God, like I really had this experience, but I couldn't explain it. I'm like 3 or 4 years old. So I didn't really know exactly what it even meant. So that was just like my very first memory of any sort of psychic experience, any sort of spiritual experience. And I like to go over my under eye a little bit more even after I do my foundation, just to give it that extra little, little boost. So, okay. Because I am looking a little tired today, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm looking a little worn. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, my baby girl, my 15-year-old, my firstborn, had a very unfortunate incident happen to her while she was at her dad's, and with a dog bite, and she was mauled as well. And so that's really been wearing on us at this time. But today is a little bit of a better day in terms of how I'm feeling emotionally, how she's feeling emotionally. Shout out to the village. My mom she came here to our home, and she picked her up to take her to her follow-up doctor's appointment to get her sutures removed from her face. So, and she did that so that I can take care of some other business stuff that I needed to do this morning. So they are still out. And I love and appreciate her for doing that. And my baby girl, she's just been such a trooper. But as you can imagine, being 15 and having something like this happen, especially when it's your face, it's a lot. So I am just here to support her and love on her as much as possible. So I had to take the day off yesterday because yesterday was a little bit of a more challenging day for her. This is actually a liquid blush by Milani, and it's called Berry Smooth, if you can see that. There we go. It's by Milani. It's called Berry Smooth. I'm sorry the focus is not there. And y'all probably laughing at me like, she don't know what she doing with this makeup. I sure don't. I don't. But I'm gonna try. And I'm gonna try to get this job done. I'm not seeing too much like highlighter and like bronzer and stuff being used these days. So I was like, let me try a little bit of this blush. I'm not typically like a blush person, but it's just, you're trying something new. Okay. So that looks a little ridiculous, but we just gonna go with it. We just gonna go with it today because I don't feel like it. And I really need something for this hyperpigmentation, y'all. Help me. See if I can smooth this out a little bit with another brush. Let's see. Yes, y'all. Please feel free to laugh, okay? I don't know what I'm doing. And then, so back to psychic talk. So I've had experiences, but I just never really like paid attention. One other experience that I can recall, very, very, very clearly, when I was with my ex-husband. I don't care to say this. Like, I'm sorry, it is what it is. But when I was with him, by the way, I do not know. This is an eyebrow, I call it an eyebrow mascara. It's probably not even called that. But that's what it is. It's like mascara for your eyebrows, just to like put a little bit more of a tint in it. I don't recall the brand of this, so I apologize, but I did get this from Ulta as well. That's like the number one place that I go to, Ulta Beauty. And that's pure convenience on my part, because it's like right up the street from me. So honestly, that's typically where I go. And they just put a Sephora over in my neighborhood as well, but I haven't been to it yet. But it's been here for like I don't know, a couple of, no, it's been here for more than, like, just before the holiday, maybe like November, October, something like that. But yeah, I put this on here just to create a little bit more of a definition for my eyebrows. Because I don't have the thickest, like, I love thick eyebrows. Like, I am somebody who really likes very thick eyebrows. I do not care. Almost to the point where, like, listen, if you had like a little, if your eyebrows came like right here and it was almost a unibrow, I think that's kind of cute. But you know, everybody has their little quirks and things that they like. Okay, so this is the Maybelline Lasting Drama. So I use this eyeliner. Listen, camera, get it together, okay? So I use this for my my eyeliner. So when I was with the ex-husband, y'all, this was in our dating phase, okay? So I'm about 19 at this time. And I had gotten saved at that point. Like actually before I met him, I had gotten saved. And so I was having really like intense spiritual experiences that I didn't quite understand. And I was having like visions and stuff, but I didn't want to share with anybody because especially like, you know, my dad, he rest in peace, Abu, but he was diagnosed with schizophrenia and he had late onset. So it was like he was in his 30s when he was diagnosed. And I'm sure that there were like, you know, signs and things like that before that, but that was when he got his official diagnosis. So to think about having like, you know, you're hearing the voice of God and you're hearing you know, spirit speak to you, or you're seeing visions, or you're seeing things. Sorry, that's the fan. Seeing other things like with your eyes open. It can be a little scary because you're like, am I going crazy? Like, what is happening? And so I was not sharing with anybody what I was hearing and seeing at that time at 19. And then I was in school, you know, studying mental health. And I was like, oh my God, they said it happens around this age, you know? So, I was afraid, you know, but, so I had heard, and I know it was God, because I'm telling you, when I've had other experiences after that, and as I embraced my gifts, it was the way that I hear God's voice. It's like a rumble. Like the clouds is moving, the earth is moving, everything is moving. And he said, this is not your person. This is not your person. Like he kept repeating it. Like, and I remember like seeing a vision of like the sky just opening up and just white light. And I'm hearing this and I was like, it scared me. So at that point, like I started to become like kind of distant. Like I didn't really know how to take it. And I remember like after that incident, he and I had kissed and I saw this vision of like the fall and like the leaves just dying. This sounds so horrible, but I gotta be real with y'all. And I saw the vision of fall and like the leaves dying, crumbling, and it just felt like but I just kept explaining these things away, like, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy, maybe, you know, it's just me, maybe I'm just overthinking this whole thing. No, I was not. I was not overthinking it at all. And that led to years of not being happy. And and that's when you think about when they say, do not lean on your own understanding. Okay? Do not lean on your own understanding. At that time, I was following what I was taught, which was be with someone, and I'm sorry y'all can't see me, but be with someone who loves you more than you love them. Horrible thing to say to somebody, because how do you even balance or equate or weigh love? It shouldn't be anything like that. Right now I'm using a palette by MAC. I ain't gonna show y'all. Do a little quick because this palette is looking real rough. I like to use the Painted Pot by MAC, but I don't know if they make it anymore. I have not looked for it myself like in the last couple of years to even know if that is something that MAC still carries. But I used to love using it as like a primer under my eyeshadow because one, it allows the shadow to stay on longer, and then two, it gives it a different tint. Like whatever color you're using, it like highlights that color and it gives it a little bit more of a vibrancy, in my opinion. And so they had like different shades of the Painted Pot, but I don't know if they still carry Painted Pot and MAC or not. I have not looked for it. I haven't really been into like makeup like that for real in a while. So I just get like the basics, like foundation, eyeliner, mascara. This palette of shadows, I am not even gonna tell y'all how long I've had it, because y'all will probably be like the makeup police and be like, why do you still have that? You should have thrown that away months ago. So I'm not gonna just divulge. I like to use a little bit of the shadow like right under the brow as well, just to give it a little extra zhuzh. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this brush again because we don't want to have the shadow like all up in the lashes as well. And I really need to get some more lashes done. I need to get another set, but I'm on a budget. Okay, I am on a budget right now. I am only working one job, and my behavioral health folks, my social workers, my PsyDs, my counselors out there, LMFTs, all my mental health folks out there, we tend to work multiple gigs because we like to help people, and then we also like to get our coins, and not live paycheck to paycheck, which is what I feel like everybody is doing at this point, with inflation and everything, and not being able to get any type of, government assistance or anything like that. And ain't nothing wrong with people who get it, but when you don't qualify for that type of stuff, you gotta find some other ways to get the getting while it's good, so you can be a little comfortable. This is MAC's powder, and this is the dark shade, the mineralizing powder that I use. It's like a skin finish, natural look. So I put this on top. This is just a really light, very light beat for the day. Not too much going on. Now, this is gonna sound, hold on one second, y'all. I'm about to put my setting spray on as well. Sorry, I was off camera. But I use Morphe's SPF 30 Sun Setter Spray to set it. And I just like to spray like 2 to 3 sprays. But y'all, it was so funny. And I'm not gonna name the product because I don't want to product shame. Okay. But I do remember there was a certain setting spray that is a popular setting spray that I used to buy. And I was told by Spirit that particular setting spray, y'all, I went to use it. I put it up like this, and then Spirit was like carcinogens, and I was like, got it. Like Spirit was like, don't use that. Like it has carcinogens in it. So I have not used that setting spray in a couple years, or a year, maybe something like that. And this right here is Mario Badescu. I might be saying that wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. But that's the brand, and it's a facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. So I use this. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry about this not being in perfect view. But anyway, I use this, and I know it sounds pretty counterintuitive to like, girl, you just put setting spray, you did your powder. But this is just to keep my skin healthy. And then it gives it like a little bit of a dewy look for a few minutes afterwards, which I like. So I'm gonna put that on. And so I use that. And I know it's like, why would you put that on? I just, it is what it is, right? So I'm about to curl my hair. My hair needs to be done. But since I have been home with my baby girl, I have not had, I don't want to, take her out unless it's necessary. Just because I know it's a lot for her to go out right now. She had a really rough day yesterday with vomiting and just nausea from the meds. So, I just want to keep her in as much as possible, unless she's got a doctor's appointment. But I will be getting my hair done. Probably not today, maybe on Sunday. Today's Friday. But yeah, I'm gonna probably do that on Sunday. Get it all taken care of. So, but yeah, like I've had these little psychic experiences over the years, before I actively really engaged in my spiritual journey. And I would say that, when it comes to religious beliefs, my faith system is more so grounded in Christianity as far as the values, the doctrine, the belief system, because I do believe in Jesus Christ, okay? I really do. And I've had experiences where I have seen him, where he's come to me and we've had, conversations. So it's really more so within that religious sect, if you will. But I say I'm more of a spiritual person because I've had experiences with other, deities and, like Mama Isis, she's so strong. She is powerful. When she comes, it's like, hold on to your seatbelt, okay? Because she will deliver that message and she will let you know, I could yoke you up at any time. So, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a religious person, but I'm very spiritual. But I do not knock anyone else's beliefs. If you are, because my dad, he practiced Islam. So that was something that I grew up with, and didn't have pork. I remember my first experience of accidentally eating pork, was when I was I think I was around 18 at the time. I got violently sick because my body was not used to ever having any kind of pork product. And I got really, really ill. But luckily I didn't have to be hospitalized, but I did have, I was out of commission for a couple days. And it was because I had some carnitas meat at dang on Chipotle. I was thinking like it was shredded chicken, not knowing that carnitas is shredded pork. So that was definitely a misstep on my part. But yeah, like I was saying, like I don't knock anybody else's beliefs. If you believe whatever resonates with you, however you get to the creator is your business. I'll just say, like, I don't believe in like Satanism. I don't believe in the devil. I do believe that there are lower entities and energy that, as like trickster energy that tries to, take advantage. But also your ego. If you want to call anything the devil, it will be your dang on ego. And for real. Whatever your ego is leading you to, and getting in the way of, that's more of the devil than anything. But anyway, so those spiritual experiences that I had earlier on, I was like trying to explain them away, but I got to a point where it was like, you can't explain this away. Like, this is really happening. Being able to like move things, being able to, see and speak with, people who have transitioned. And I do know that there are trickster energy, where it can like, masquerade itself as something that it's not. And so, it's so important to do protection work around you when you are tapping into your spirituality. My light went off, but hopefully it did not disrupt the video too much. Let's see if this helps it out. There we go. So even that just happening like that, no reason, the light just went off. I wonder why that happened. Sometimes I'll be like in a, I'll like walk in my bathroom downstairs and the light will, without the light switch being on, y'all, the light will like flicker real quick. And I remember like when I was with my twin soul and I had gone to his new place. This was really recently, like in October, November time frame. And I went to his house and I walked in the door and his light just, the light just turned on. And he was like, what the hell was that? Like, this light don't ever come on. Like, how did that happen? I was real quiet, like, no. So, yeah. So things like that just, it will happen. The more you become tapped into your spiritual side and you really, hone in on your spiritual gifts and just be grateful to the Creator for allowing you to have gifts and you use them for the highest good of all, okay? Always make sure you use those gifts for the highest good of all. But I do have like a little funny about that forehead patch that I had that was like eczema. So my sis, she was like, really like praying for me and like my wellness last January, in January of 24, because I had gotten COVID. And she was like, I'm just gonna do some prayers and stuff for you. So, just to make sure you heal well and everything. And Um, I don't give a lot of people permission to speak over me. And there's so many reasons why I don't allow that to happen. Simply because, like, when you are allowing somebody to speak something over your life, what does it say? Death and life is in the power of the tongue. I wholeheartedly believe that. So I don't give very many people permission to speak over me at all. And I don't give people permission to be in my energetic field. I always, put like protection over myself. And so it's like a fortress to get through, to even tap in, because I don't give anybody permission to speak over me unless I say you can have permission. So that's always something I always want you guys to do as well, is just, whenever you have somebody praying for you, make sure it's somebody that you genuinely know has your highest good in mind and the highest good of all, not just their interest, your interest, and the interest of the collective. Okay. So anyway, my sister's praying for me to get better, and she's really like a dope prayer warrior. But because like we're so connected and we do a lot of spiritual work together, sometimes she can feel what's going on with me. I can feel what's going on with her. Y'all, she started getting a sore throat, and I got a damn eczema patch on my forehead. So, like I said, just be careful who you have speaking over you and whatever is going on with them. But that wasn't really a warning for us. We thought it was funny, that the experience happened. But that's just really like a tale for, everybody else. Like, I really always want to encourage people to just be careful who you connect with when you're on your spiritual journey. Some people will make the cut while others will fade away. And that is absolutely okay. Having people like move away from your life that don't serve your highest good, it's for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. So don't get discouraged when some people leave your life. Sometimes it's the whole reason, season, lifetime thing that I said before. I know it's overly stated, but it's truth. Speak truth to power. Like, that has some truth to it. There's some people that come in your life for a reason, but it just may be for a season. And then as you're on your journey, you don't want to spiritually align with someone who is not, on the same path and the same journey as you, because that could just really lead you off of your path, and make you, misaligned with your purpose, and you feel lost, and you start to feel like, what is going on? Like, I'm going nuts. So that is my lesson, and I am going to pick up the video a little bit later in the day. Love y'all.